All right, let's talk about that magic number, an 800 credit score. How do you get there? And more importantly, how do you stay there? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's a system. And today, we're gonna break down exactly how that system works for you.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. The person who said this basically had a light bulb moment. They realized, hey, I figured this out. Getting an 800 score isn't some big mystery reserved for a select few. Nope, it's just a set of rules. You just have to know the rules and, actually follow them.
So why should you even care about this? What's the big deal? Well, having a great score is kind of like having a financial superpower. Seriously, it's your ticket to the best credit cards with all the cool perks. It gets you the absolute lowest interest rates when you go to buy a car or a house. We're talking saving thousands of dollars here. It can even help you get approved for an apartment or land a job. The benefits? They're massive.
Okay, so how does this whole thing work under the hood? Your score is basically built on 5 key things. But, and this is super important, they are not all created equal, not even close. Just look at this breakdown. Payment history and how much you owe, together, that's 65% of your entire score. That's a huge chunk. So if you want the biggest bang for your buck, that's exactly where we need to start.
All right, first up, the undisputed champion of your credit score, your payment history. This is the big one, folks. It makes up 35% of your score, so if you want to even think about hitting 800, you absolutely have to nail this part. It's non-negotiable.
Now, here's where a lot of people get tripped up. You open your credit card app and you see 2 numbers, statement balance and current balance. Which one do you pay? It's confusing, right? Well, here's the deal. The only number you need to worry about by your due date is the statement balance. That's your bill from the last cycle. The current balance, that includes all the stuff you just bought. You don't owe that money yet. That'll be on your next bill.
And that brings us to what I call the golden rule. It is so simple, but so powerful. Ready? Here it is. Always pay your statement balance in full and on time every single month. No exceptions. If you do just this one thing, you will never pay a single penny in that nasty credit card interest, and you'll be building a perfect payment history. That's the foundation of an 800 score, right there.
So what happens if you break that rule? Well, the consequences are pretty steep. One single missed payment doesn't just sting for a month or two. No, that thing will haunt your credit report, pulling your score down for 7 years. That's a long time. It really shows you that consistency is everything in this game.
But look, nobody's perfect. Mistakes happen. So if you do accidentally miss a due date by a day or 2, don't freak out. There's good news. Lenders usually give you a grace period. They won't report you as late to the credit bureaus until you're a full 30 days past due. So you've got this little window of time to catch your mistake, get that payment in, and completely avoid any damage to your score. Pew, right?
Okay, let's tackle the second heavyweight champion of your credit score, utilization. This is the other half of that massive 65% chunk we talked about. If you can master your payments, and you can master this, you are well on your way to that 800 club, for sure.
So what on earth is utilization? It sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's just a percentage of how much of your available credit you're using. All you do is take your statement balance and divide it by your total credit limit. So, if you owe like $86 on a card with a $6,800 limit, your utilization is just over 1%. Super low. And that, my friends, is exactly what we're aiming for. You've probably heard the old rule of thumb. Keep your utilization under 30%. And that's not bad advice. But for an elite score, for an 800, we have to aim higher. The new goal, the 800 score goal, is to keep it under 10%. That's for each card and for your total across all your cards. Honestly, the lower the better. If you can stay in the low single digits, you're golden.
Now, here's what makes utilization so different from your payment history. Let's say one month you have to make a big purchase, maybe a new laptop or a plane ticket. Your utilization is going to shoot up, and yeah, your score is probably going to take a little dip. But, and this is a really big but, it's not permanent damage.
And this is seriously the best part about utilization. It has no memory. Think about that. Unlike a late payment that sticks to you for 7 years, a high utilization month gets wiped clean the very next month. As soon as you pay that balance down and a new low percentage gets reported, your score just pops right back up. It's like a monthly reset button for 30% of your score.
Okay, so we've covered the big 2, the ones you manage every single month. Now let's talk about the parts of your score that are more of a marathon than a sprint. We're talking about your credit history. This is all about the long game, where patience is your best friend, and it's a solid 15% of your score.
So, your credit age isn't just one number. It's actually two different things. First, you have the age of your oldest account. Think of this like the wise old captain of your credit ship. It's your anchor. Then you have the average age of all your accounts combined. And, it's just math. Every time you add a brand new baby account, that average age is going to dip down for a little while.
So the strategy here is pretty simple. It's all about playing the long game. Rule number 1, start building credit as early as you can. Responsibly, of course. Get time working for you. And rule number 2, and this is a big one, whatever you do, do not close your oldest credit card, especially if it's one of those free cards with no annual fee. That card is like the foundation of your credit history. Protect it.
All right, let's wrap up with the last two pieces of the puzzle. Together, they're just 20% of your score. Now, ironically, these are the two things people tend to stress out about the most, but as you'll see, they really don't have that much of an impact.
Yeah, let's talk about the dreaded hard inquiry. People are so scared of this. But look, here's what actually happens when you apply for a new card. You get a small, temporary hit to your score. A few points, maybe. But its power starts to fade really fast. And after 2 years, poof, it's completely gone from your report. It's a tiny blip on the radar. It is not a big deal.
So let's just bust this myth once and for all. Opening new credit cards does not damage your score long term. In fact, if you're responsible, it does the opposite. It helps. Think about it. You get another account reporting perfect payments, and you increase your total credit limit, which makes it even easier to keep your utilization super low. Those long-term wins are way more important than that tiny little dip you get at the start.
And finally, that last little 10%, credit mix. The advice here is probably the easiest of all. Just don't worry about it. Seriously. It's kind of like the cherry on top. Sure, the scoring models like to see you have a mix of stuff, like credit cards and maybe a car loan or a mortgage, but you should never go out and get a loan just to try and boost your score. That's backwards. Just live your life, normally. As you need these things, you'll get them, and your credit mix will take care of itself.
Okay, we've gone through all 5 factors, so let's put it all together. What is the actual game plan? What do you need to do starting today to get on that path to an 800 score?
So here's the real secret. Are you ready? There is no secret. There are no hacks. There are no shortcuts. An 800 credit score is just a report card for your habits. It's proof that you've been consistent over a long time. So really focus on the 2 things you control every month, paying on time and keeping that utilization low. Then just be patient. Let time do its thing. That's the formula. And hey, don't forget, even if you land in the high 700s, that's still an absolutely fantastic score that's going to open almost every door for you.
At the end of the day, an 800 score is built with habits, not hacks. It's built on a foundation of simple, repeatable actions month after month. It all starts with a choice to be consistent. So the real question is, what's the first habit you're going to start or maybe double down on today? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.